Hi guys, it's Mrs. MacPhail and
Mrs. Gonzalez.
your objective today. I can interpret data and plot points on a coordinate grid. Coordinate grids are kind of cool. If you've ever played Battleship the game, it's kind of like that. Down below you can see we have a picture of what a coordinate grid looks like and a couple of things about them. One, they're used to locate points using pairs of numbers. Remember that pair means one that is two of something. So for example, a pair of socks, it's one pair but there's two socks. So a pair of numbers would be a set of two numbers. And two, they have coordinates that are written inside of parentheses and they look just like this. 3, 4, that's an example, and 0, 6. So these are examples of coordinates. All right, so we have an example for you on the board here. And, oh, Mr. Nutty, you have an acorn up a tree. You must be hungry. I think maybe he wants to go find it or something.
He does.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this coordinate graph first. You can see we have two lines of numbers here. One is going horizontally, left to right, and one is going vertically to the top and bottom. And these are actually number lines that are intersecting at a right angle. And actually, you can kind of look here and see that it kind of makes that little right angle sign, that square box. So, coordinate graphs have number lines that meet at right angles. And this is kind of that space in between of numbers that don't exactly lie on the number line but exist somewhere in between, and we use those coordinate graphs to help us find points and where they exist in between those number lines. So we have an acorn that's here, and there's actually a name for this point, Mrs. Gonzalez, where the acorn is. And what is the name of that point?
Well, I'm looking down below, right underneath the grid, and it says the name of the acorn spot is 5, 4.
So what does that mean?
Well, Mr. Nutty's going to have to take a little walk. Mr. Nutty's going to have to walk over to the tree 5 spaces. Can you do that?
Of course.
Come on, Mr. Nutty.
Mr. Nutty's starting at the 0 point right now. So he's going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's what the first number says.
And the second number means Mr. Nutty has to climb up the tree. The second number, you always go up the graph. So up the tree 4 spaces.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And look at that. Mr. Nutty gets his acorn.
He's so happy. All right, let's take a look at another example. So remember, kids, you want to walk over to the tree and then climb up it. Okay, Mrs. Gonzalez, how about this one? How would we get to this one?
Well, it says the name of the acorn spot is 3, 6. So, parentheses means you do what's inside them first, and the first thing I need to do with 3, 6 is walk over to the tree. So I need to go over 3. So, Mr. Nutty, move 3 spaces.
1, 2, 3. Okay, he moved over 3, and now what?
Now I look at the second number in my parentheses, and that tells me to climb up the tree. I need to go up 6 spaces.
1, 2,
actually, I don't need to
3.
go up 6 spaces. Mr. Nutty did.
He's hungry.
And look at that, he gets his acorn again.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we just have to remember to go over and then up.
Walk over to the tree and then climb up the tree.
Yep.
All right, let's try another one. This time, we're going to hide the acorn. And we're going to let you practice hiding the acorn at these points on the coordinate grid. So where would the first one go?
3, 4. So they're going to have to go over 3 and up 4.
So 1, 2, 3. First number. The second number go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the first one. Very good. How about the next one, Mrs. Gonzalez? 0, 6.
Ooh, 0. Well, 0 means I don't have anything, usually. So I'm going to be right where those zeros are. I'm not going to move over at all.
Ooh, tricky.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay still. And then I'm going to look at the second number, and that tells me to go up 6. So I need to climb up 6 spaces, and that's where the acorn's going to go.
All right. Let's do one more.
Okay, 2, 3. So walk over. So I need to walk over 2 and climb up the tree. So up 3. Right there.
Very cool.
So there is one more up there, 5 comma 2. We'll just let them think about where that would go.
Oh yeah, we'll ask you guys, where do you think that one would go if we were to ask you to plot the acorn at 5 comma 2? All right, we have a question for you now. After you've played around this for a little bit, are, in parentheses, 2 comma 5 and 5 comma 2 the same location?
Well, let's just remember over, up. Why don't we plot both of the points and see what happens?
Let's go ahead and plot the 2 comma 5 first. Mr. Nutty has to walk over 2 spaces and then climb the tree 5 spaces. So if I take my acorn and go over 2 and then up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be my first one, 2 comma 5. The second one, he has to walk over 5 first because that's the first number. The second number tells us to climb the tree how many spaces. So he's going to have to walk over 5 first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then climb up the tree 2 spaces. So 1, 2. Mrs. Gonzalez,
Yeah.
they are not the same location.
It's not in the same spot. I'm noticing, too, that the wind is blowing these acorns around, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Nutty didn't actually move,
Yeah.
I noticed.
He didn't move that time.
So the wind blew them.
Yeah.
But to 2 different spots.
Yeah.
But Mr. Nutty could go get them. Why don't we show Mr. Nutty going to get them just for review of finding these points?
Sure. Let's do the first one, 2 comma 5. So Mr. Nutty has to walk over 2, 1, 2, and then up 5 to get his first acorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh, that's kind of a long walk up.
Okay, and now he come back down. And now he wants to go get his second one. So we're going to go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's the first number. The second number tells us how many to go up the tree. So 1, 2.
Ooh, he didn't go up as high. I noticed he's not as tired. He has a lot more energy because he didn't have to climb so high.
But he had to walk further to the right this time.
He did, but I think walking sometimes is a little easier than climbing.
That's true,
So
especially.
I mean, they're definitely not the same location because he's not as tired out from climbing.
You're right. Ooh, do you know something else that Mr. Nutty said we can do with coordinate grids?
What?
Oh,
Tell
it's
me.
really cool. He said that we can make shapes with them.
Making a shape?
Yeah, right?
Really?
I know.
Show me how.
I said the same thing. I was like, are you sure about this, Mr. Nutty? But you can actually make shapes with these kids, believe it or not. Let's take a look at the first one here. 3 comma 5. So we are going to start
walking over 3.
Walking over 3. Oh, and actually, Mrs. Gonzalez, I'm just going to switch something really quick here.
Okay.
Okay. So 3 comma 5. So I'm going to just start over at the 0 because it's always easier for us to start at the 0.
Yep.
I'm going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3, and then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't see how this is making a shape yet.
I don't either, but I trust Mr. Nutty. I have faith in him.
Okay.
So that's our first one. Let's look at our second one. 2 comma 3.
Oh, I got to take a walk over 2, and then I have to go up 3.
Very good. So 1, 2, up 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I think I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Well, I'm going to connect these two because this is where we started. And this was our second one that we went to. So I'm just going to draw a shape like that.
Oh,
Do you see how I
get
did that?
it?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the third point.
I
I think I
can't
know what
either.
the shape is.
Okay, let's take a look. 4 comma 3.
I have to walk over 4 and go up 3.
1, 2. I want to make sure that you understand, kids, that every time we're starting over, we're starting at the 0. We're not starting from up here. We're starting from down here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Up the tree.
1, 2, 3. Oh.
I see 3 vertices.
I see 3 line segments. Oh.
We have the shape of a triangle.
It looks like an equilateral triangle almost.
Yeah, because all the sides are equal.
If I would have drawn them better, yeah.
That's okay. It's hard to draw perfectly equal sides.
Thanks for understanding. Well, that was pretty cool.
That was fun. I hope we get to do more of those in class. I like making shapes.
I hope so too. All right, friends, that's all the time we have for today.
See you next time.